So last year I made a video with my good buddy Dimitri the Russian Hitman, and I promised you guys I was going to start doing video game reviews for you. It's going to be almost a year since I made that video and I haven't done shit for video game reviews. But now since Arkham Knight, Batman Arkham Knight, the final installment in the Arkham series is coming out this month, I was like, you know what? Let's start the road to Arkham Knight with reviews for all the Batman Arkham games. So let's start with the game that started it all with Arkham Asylum. Batman Arkham Asylum. So Batman Arkham Asylum is the first installment in the Batman Arkham games. And the thing that I can describe the Batman Arkham series, imagine them, the Batman the animated series, but a little bit more darker, grittier, and a little bit more realistic. And not for kids anymore. And I gotta say, the gameplay in Batman Arkham Asylum was great. The control mechanics was great. And I really liked in this game the combat system. Because the combat is something that I was really intrigued to. Because right now, every time I play any of the Arkham games, the combat system is always the best part. And once you finish the story mode, there's actually some other things you can do with the game. You know, finding the Riddler trophies and playing some of the challenge maps, you know, Predator challenge. Because what's cool about this game is that you have a combat challenge and Predator challenges. What's funny about this game is when you're fighting a big group of criminals, you're just kicking the hell out of them, punching them, and you start to get in the combo mode. You're like, oh crap, I can't mess up. Your hands start to shake, your hands start to sweat up. You're like, don't mess up. And then for some bullshit ass reason, I just throw a batarang. I'm like, God, I messed up my combo. What the f? And the story from Arkham Asylum was really great. Because, you know, for video games, we don't really associate them with having great stories. Because why? We just play them just to have fun. But now, I felt with Arkham Asylum, it really showed you could have a great game, a fun game, with a great story. Because this came out back in 2009 and the story was really well done, you know, because it centers around Batman capturing the Joker, but the Joker planning to be caught and sent to Arkham Asylum is to start having this plan that I will not spoil if you have not played the game. And what's cool about this game is that Batman, there's so many villains in this game since Arkham Asylum, so you have villains in prisons or there's little Easter eggs from villains. And when Batman interacts with all these characters and some of the villains, the dialogue is really well. The back and forth between the characters is really well done. And what's cool about this game, you have the voice actors from the Batman the Animated Series. You have Kevin Conroy, the voice of the Batman, in this game, which is brilliant. And you have Mark Hamill, that's right, Luke Skywalker voicing the Joker in this game. Those two, when they're going head to head with each other, like, remember when I first got the game and I heard the voice, I was like, that's Kevin Conroy. And when I heard the Joker talking, I was like, that's Mark Hamill. Not everyone, but most people from the Batman the Animated Series come back to voice some of the characters in the game. But obviously the two guys who steal the show is Kevin Conroy and Mark Hamill. The voice acting in this game is really well done because back in the day games, they were like, oh my god, I can't believe that happened. We have to go investigate. It was so cheesy. But in this game, the voice act is really well done. It's something like, if this was shown in theaters, you're like, okay, this is seriously well done voice acting. Kevin Conroy and Mark Hamill, they just kill it. And the thing about this game, this was the first game that actually made you feel like Batman. Because there's stuff where you have to use Batman's gadgets, you have to use senses, or I'm just gonna scan the room, get ready to take down these guys, or you set up a crime scene and look for clues in order to progress within the game. You know, you gotta look for clues, and you're like, oh man, I feel like Batman. You're like, hell yeah, I'm the Batman. And that's the biggest compliment I could give to the game. In a game called Batman, it made you feel like Batman. Other problems that I have with the game? Not entirely. You know, there's sometimes when the camera view just happens out of nowhere, like, oh, I'm punching a guy and then this camera just kind of messes up, like, whoa, what the heck? And also to the final boss, you're like, okay, it's gonna be the Batman and the Joker. And ultimately, it's just you, Batman, against a jacked up Joker, and the boss fight is not even that good too. Joker just goes like this, and he's like, okay, I gotta go back up. It's not that well done of a boss fight, because there were some boss fights early on in the game that were actually well done. You know, with you and Bane and Poison Ivy, that was actually well done. And for the Joker, the final boss, it was kind of underwhelming. But overall, Batman Arkham Asylum was a great game. The graphics were really well done. I liked the style of animation they used because it kind of felt like you were watching a graphic novel. The voice acting from Kevin Conroy, Mark Hamill, and everyone else, the voice acting was amazing. The story was really well done. The dialogue between all the characters was great. The gameplay mechanics, the combat system, everything was great about this game. So I'm going to give Batman Arkham Asylum an A-. It was awesome. So guys, that's my review for Batman Arkham Asylum. Tell me, you guys, what are your thoughts on the game down in the comments below. Thank you guys so much for watching my video, and also guys, join me on the road to Arkham Knight. Hashtag the road to Arkham Knight. I know I promised you guys, it's been a year since I promised you guys I was going to do video game reviews. It's time for me to live with that promise. I was almost going to get my ass kicked by Dimitri. He called me out, started calling me all kinds of names because I wasn't doing it. So I was like, you know what, let's start with Batman Arkham Asylum. So, thank you guys so much for watching my video. And as always, ladies and gentlemen, have a nice day.